So, when you hear the words Book of Revelation, what comes to mind? Probably chaos, right? Beasts, the end of the world, all that intense stuff. But what if I told you the key to understanding all of it isn't even found on Earth? We're about to jump into the vision that starts in Revelation chapter 4, and it's basically a trip to the command center of the universe. It sets the stage for everything else that happens.
This is the direct invitation given to the prophet John. And honestly, it's an invitation to us too. We're being called to see things not from our, limited down-on-the-ground perspective, but from the control room of the cosmos. And believe me, this shift in viewpoint, it's everything. It totally sets this epic, mysterious tone for what's about to unfold.
Okay, so notice where this vision begins. It's not with all the crazy stuff on Earth. Nope. It starts right here in heaven's throne room. And that is so important. Before we can even begin to understand the turmoil down below, the vision has to establish who's actually in charge of history itself.
So the very first thing John sees is a throne, and someone is sitting on it. But here's the thing, he doesn't see a person, not in the way we'd think. Instead, he describes what he sees as brilliant, radiant gemstones like jasper and carnelian. The point isn't to give us a police sketch, right? It's to convey a reality so pure, so glorious, that the only language that comes close is the language of light and immense value.
And this throne isn't alone. It's surrounded by this incredible royal court. Imagine this, a rainbow that glows like a pure emerald, a floor that looks like a calm sea made of crystal. And then, seated on 24 other thrones, you've got 24 elders. Now, a lot of scholars think this number is symbolic. It's like you take the 12 tribes of ancient Israel and add the 12 apostles of the new church. What do you get? 24. It's a picture of the complete people of God, all of humanity, redeemed and right there in God's presence.
And then things get even more interesting. There are these 4 living creatures. They're described as being like a lion, an ox, a man, and an eagle. This isn't random. It's symbolic of all life on Earth. The lion for wild animals, the ox for domestic animals, the man for us, and the eagle for the birds. The point is, together they represent all of creation. And what are they doing? They're worshiping, constantly. It's this powerful image that all of creation finds its true purpose in praising its creator.
All right, so this scene is set. We've got the throne, the court is assembled, and this powerful worship is happening all around. But now a new element enters the picture. It's the central object of mystery, and it's about to become the absolute focus of this entire cosmic drama. So what is it? It's a scroll, and it's in God's right hand. It's even written on both sides, which tells you it's a complete story. It's God's full plan for history. But there's a huge catch. It's sealed shut with 7 seals. And in the book of Revelation, the number 7 means perfection or completion. So this thing isn't just locked, it's perfectly, impenetrably locked. The future is literally a closed book. Then, a mighty angel booms out this question that echoes through the entire universe. And listen closely to the word he uses. Who is worthy? This isn't about who's the strongest or the smartest. This is a question of character, of authority, of moral right. Who on earth, or in heaven, actually has the qualifications to carry out God's divine plan? And the answer is no one. The search comes up completely empty. Not a single being in all of heaven or on earth or under the earth is found worthy. Think about that. God's plan for history just grinds to a halt. And John, the one seeing all this, he just breaks down and weeps. And his tears aren't just his own. They represent this massive cosmic crisis. It's like the story of redemption and justice is stuck on page 1 and it might never be told. But that despair, it doesn't last. Just when it seems like all hope is lost, one of the elders steps forward, and he has a message that is about to change absolutely everything. He announces a victor. The Lion of the tribe of Judah has conquered. Now, that is a powerful messianic title. It promises a conquering king. This is the hero everyone's waiting for, right? A powerful royal figure whose strength has earned him the right to open that scroll. But then, this is where the vision just flips everything on its head. It's the most stunning paradox. John hears the announcement of a lion, a conqueror. But when he turns to look, he sees a lamb. And not just any lamb. It's a lamb standing, so it's alive, it's resurrected, but it still has the wounds of being slaughtered. And right there, that's the core message of this whole vision. Victory wasn't won by raw power or brute force. It was won through sacrifice. The lamb is worthy because of his redemptive death. He and he alone is qualified. So the Lamb takes the scroll, and all of heaven just explodes in this new song of praise. The crisis is over. The plan for history can finally get started. And now, with the breaking of each of those 7 seals, a new piece of God's plan is going to be unleashed on the earth. The first 4 seals, well, they unleash the famous 4 horsemen. And it's probably best not to think of these as 4 separate, one-time events. It's more like a summary of the tragic forces that have always been at work in human history. You've got conquest, war, famine, and death. These are the painful, chaotic results of living in a broken world, and now they're being unleashed under divine permission. Okay, so the 5th seal is different. It shifts our perspective completely. We're not looking at another disaster on earth. We're back in heaven, and we see the souls of those who were martyred for their faith. They're crying out, asking, "How long, O Lord?" It's this powerful plea for justice. And God responds. He gives them white robes and reassures them. Their suffering hasn't been forgotten, not at all. But they need to wait just a little bit longer. Then the 6th seal is opened, and the response on earth is just universal terror. This is way beyond normal natural disaster. The language here describes the complete unmaking of the universe. The sun goes black, the moon turns to blood. It's classic apocalyptic language for the final day of judgment. And it's so terrifying that every single person, from kings down to slaves, runs to hide in fear. And that terrifying vision of judgment, it leads all of humanity to ask one desperate, overwhelming question. They're hiding from the face of God on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb, and this is what they cry out. When you're facing an absolute cosmic judgment like this, who could possibly survive? That question just hangs in the air and it feels completely unanswerable. But hold on, before that final 7th seal gets opened, the story takes a pause. It's a literary device called an interlude, and its whole purpose is to hit the brakes on this terrifying sequence of judgment to answer that one crucial question: who is able to stand? The answer starts with this really famous number, 144,000. Before any more destruction happens, an angel shouts for a timeout until God's servants can be sealed on their foreheads. Now, this seal isn't like a magic shield that protects them from physical suffering. It's a mark of divine ownership. It's a guarantee of their ultimate salvation. So what are we supposed to do with this number, 144,000? Well, some people take it completely literally. But, this whole book is packed with symbols, so a lot of scholars see it as a symbolic, perfect number. Think about it. 12 is the number of God's people. So you have 12 times 1,000, which is a number for a vast multitude. It paints a picture of the complete, numbered, and known people of God from all of history, all of them perfectly secure. And you know what? Just like we saw with the lion and the lamb, what John hears is one thing, but what he sees is another. He hears the specific number, 144,000. But then he looks and he sees a crowd so massive that no one could even count it. And it's made up of people from every single nation on earth. This is the answer to the question. These are the ones who are able to stand because they've been made clean by the sacrifice of the Lamb. Okay, so that message of hope has been delivered. The big question, who can stand, has been answered. We know God's people are secure. So now the story returns to the main event. It's time for the Lamb to open the final 7th seal. And after all the thunder, all the cries, all the cosmic chaos, what happens? The climax is silence. It's just shocking and dramatic. For about half an hour, the book says, all of heaven just holds its breath in this silent, profound awe. So in a book that is filled with sound and fury, what in the world does the silence mean? Well, for one thing, it's the calm before the next storm. The 7 trumpets of judgment are coming. But it's also a moment of incredible focus. Because it's in this silence that the prayers of the saints, remember those cries of how long? They're gathered up like incense and offered right before God. It's this powerful reminder that before the next wave of judgment starts, heaven actually pauses to listen to the prayers of its people. And it leaves you wondering, is what comes next a direct response to those very prayers?